Welcome to the Sophomore Drome, and today we've got two wizardries of keyboards and all instruments, and that is Vangelis and Mike Oldfield, two artists that I really like. And this is going to be a tough one for me because I like both of these albums equally. So as usual, the first album that comes out goes first. And in this case, it was Vangelis' Earth. His second album, people say it's not, but it is, because he did that French one, I can never pronounce it. Dave's the art of pronouncing that, but that was his first ever album. And Earth came out in 1973. Now, this wasn't released on compact disc in the 80s, and it was not until 1996 that the CD version was made available, but then only in Greece. So if anyone's got a copy of this on vinyl, you're doing well, because this is one album that I never have owned on any format. I've had to rely on download versions, which I brought, of course. So, Earth. First track on Earth is a track called Come On. It's a short little 2-minute thing, and it's very proggy rock. It sort of goes back to his Aphrodite's Child days. It's got some of them elements there, and there was a thing he did, an album called On the Dragon, and I love the vocal on this. It's really eerie. It's a super little track. Then we get a track called We Are All Uprooted. Again, it's got a progressive sound, but more electronic atmosphere. And it's pretty decent. Then we get Sunny Earth. This is an interesting track. It's got different sort of cultural sounds on it. You've got the Tambla drums from India on it. You've got the Oriental East sound on it. It's a nice fusion of different cultures. It really works well. Then we have Hee Ho, and there's little bits of this that appear on an album that he didn't release called The Dragon. It's got that Eastern mystique feel to it again. I really like tracks like that. Then we get Ritual. It's good use of voices here. It's texturized. The percussion's really interesting, and it's another super track. Let It Happen. This is the oddball on here. It reminds me of remember after the chart show on Sundays on the radio, you'd get Sing Something Simple. This is what this reminds me of. Yeah, it is a little bit of a white elephant on the album. The City, just drums and lots of percussion sounds. Then we get one of my favourite pieces of music by Vangelis. It's called My Face in the Rain. Sorry, it's unbelievable stuff. The strings are wonderful, and there's a little bit of a random vocal, but this is the sort of direction that he went on, and he sort of continued on the Heaven and Earth album. It's an excellent track. Watch Out. After the soothing, gentle rain on my face, it starts off in the same, but then it goes, the drums come in. This is a very Greek cultural sort of song. It's really good. Then we just have a song to end the album called Our Song, and it's those wonderful vocal coming back in. It's quite interesting. It's talking about the land and the spring and the streams and the breeze. It's a very nice track to end the album. Now this is a great album. It's one of my favourites. It's definitely one of. It's sort of got them elements that he did with Aphrodite's Child. There's little bits from an album, The Dragon, that was never released. And this is the sound you're going to get for the next 30-40 years with him. It's just a super album. But enough of what I think. What did the critics say? There's not been much written about it, but one one bit I did find. It says reviews of Vangelis album Earth are mixed, with some appreciating the unique blend of psychedelic rock and world music, while others find it less cohesive. It is noticed for being different from Vangelis' later works. Well, that's pretty obvious, because you do sort of develop with a more adventurous sound. Critics seem divided on whether it's a must hear or a curiosity. It's definitely a must hear. But AllMusic gave it a 3.5 stars, and unfortunately it didn't get in the charts. Okay, let's have a look at the nuts and bolts of Earth. Song quality. There's some really nice songs on here, but there are some oddments that really didn't fit on the album. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Excuse me. Production, excellent production. Even the oddball songs on the album, you can't take away the production on this. It's just quality all the way through. So I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5. Reception, very mixed. Didn't chart. Yeah, they were divided over this one. I don't know if it's out of not dipping their toes into something different. I don't know. So I'm going to give that a 2 out of 5. Album cover design. Well, it's a very young picture of Vangelis, who at the time was under the name Vangelis Papathanasis. I'll give it a 3. You can't really think so. For Vangelis' Earth gives us a total of 13 out of 20. So let's move on to our next contender, Mike Oldfield. After the success of Tubular Bells, he had to come up with something really special, and in 1974 Hergest Ridge came out. I think after Tubular Bells he was affected by it, so he decided against touring, avoiding the press, and found newfound found. Instead, he retreated to Hergest Ridge, which is on the England-Wales border, hence the name. So Mike plays practically everything on it, but there are some other people that help him on this. You got June Whiting on the oboe, Lindsay Cooper on oboe, Ted Hobart on trumpet, his brother Terry on the flute, Chili Charles on snare drum, Clodagh Simons on vocals, his sister Sally on vocals, David Bedford, who did a lot of work with Mike, of course, does the strings, and conductor. So basically it's 2 pieces, isn't it? Now Hergest Ridge is split into 2. Side 1 is the more gentle, folky, it's got some lovely keyboard, especially that bit at the beginning, and it's got some lovely vocal bits on it as well. It's so relaxing, that part 1 or side 1. I love the percussion on it, and there's a lovely little bit of flute there from Terry. You know, with Clodagh and Sally doing the vocals, they really do sort of bring the song, that side, to life. And side 2 is the more gritty side. It starts off and then it builds up, and then you get that real rocky doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo, and then the guitar work, and then it just goes back into that gentleness. It is an excellent album, without a doubt. Can you follow up Tubular Bells? Of course you can. There's a lot of people that prefer Hergest Ridge to Tubular Bells, and I know this is one of Dave's favourite albums. He did a lot of study into this, so yeah. So once again, there's not been much written about this album, but Paul Stump commented on Hergest Ridge in his 1977 History of Progressive Rock. So how to follow up Tubular Bells? Simple. Merely repeat its development and techniques through new but less inspired sequences of tunes. I find that a bit harsh myself. So let's have a look at the films. All Music gave it 4 stars. The Box gave it mixed. It did chart. In Australia, got to number 12. Canada, number 91. Holland, 12. UK, number 1. It even made number 87 on the US. Then in 54, it was in 2010. Sorry, it was released in Spain and it got to number 54, and it got certifications. It got gold here in the UK, and worldwide it sold over 2 million copies. Not bad, is it? So let's have a look at the nuts and bolts of this one. Song quality. Well, it's just 2 songs, but they are beautifully put together. They flow wonderfully. There's no bitty bits. It's a lovely flow. So I'm going to give that a 5 out of 5. Production. Wonderful production. It just really feels like he's sitting there in your lounge playing that album to you. 5 again, I'm afraid. Reception. Number 1 album in the UK. Gold disc. 2 million copies worldwide. It's got to be a 5 out of 5. Album cover. I love the Irish Wolfhound and the thing. What lets it down? The lettering. Even on the album, you can hardly see the words Hergest Ridge, Mike Oldfield. That's the only thing I've got against this cover. It could have been a bit bolder or a different colour or a little bit of outline on the yellow just to bring it out. I mean, I use yellow a lot in my thumbnails, and you have to make it stand out, you need a bit of an edge. So for that reason, I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. So for Hergest Ridge by Mike Oldfield, gives us a total of 19 out of 20. Huge points win today for Mike Oldfield, and I think that's how I'm going to stay. As much as I love that Vangelis album, he didn't really hit his mark. He started to do it on Heaven and Earth, but Mike Oldfield had this enormous task to come up with a follow-up to Tubular Bells, and he absolutely smashed it out the park. I love this album, so definitely today's winner for me will always be Hergest Ridge. Okay, the poll is already up in posts, and it'll be in the poll on the live stream tonight. Okay, coming up next in Pick and Mix is another keyboard wizardry, and that's Jean-Michel Jarre. And on YouTube, I managed to find the film, the concerts in China. So I shall be having a look at that. So join for that later. Bye for now.